Hello Intuitors, it's Aria here, and I'm just about to get into doing a reading for everybody by their Zodiac sign. It will be essentially a love forecast for 2019. I'm kind of focusing in on a time period of about 6 months because I plan on doing the reading again maybe once every 3 months or so to see how things are changing. But this is like a long-term love forecast for a larger period of time. However, I will say that I do expect that for every person, it might unfold a little bit differently timing-wise. For some of you, this story might unfold in a really, sooner time frame than 6 months, and some of you it might be farther out. I kind of look at it as the bell curve. So what I'm going to do at the end of the reading, make sure you stay tuned all the way till the end because I'm going to do a really fun pick a card reading that will give you a time frame that gives you a better idea, a sense of how and when this might unfold, because I know a timing question is something that I most often get. When do you see this likely to happen? I will have to say, however, that as a card reader, not only for myself but for others, I have found that because we all have free will choice, because the energies that are being looked at any given time in a situation can always change based on the choices that you make or the choices the other person makes, that the timing can always be a tricky thing. And so understand that anytime we're looking at a timing situation or even any situation that's being painted in the cards, if it really resonates inside of you and you really feel the truth of it, then it's pretty likely that this is the course that you're truly on at this time, and that if no major decisions are changed or some of the things that you have free will choice in or that they have free will choice in, if there's no major changes in those, like where they're headed, that's the direction you guys are going. But of course, as human beings, we do have a tendency to, have monkey wrenches thrown into things. Maybe something else comes along that you didn't expect or see. And so, that can always change the outcome. But at any given time, I think it's actually a very useful tool to take a look at a card reading and say, okay, where are things headed right now? Because if I don't like this story, what can I do to change this? Or if I would like to see this occur, what can I do to make sure that it stays on course? So basically that's how you can use these readings. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, rising, or your Venus as well in case one of these readings doesn't really resonate with you. Maybe the other one will. Or maybe you'll get more details from one of the other readings as well. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing to my channel. And we're going to get right into your personalized reading for your sign of the Zodiac, and looking forward to seeing you there. Okay. So where we're at right now, it does look like we have some pretty rough things going on. We have arguments or disagreements or something. The whip here and broom is something that needs to be taken out of your life. Like it's something that you're not wanting there. And we have the snake right next to it. So it looks like there's some kind of toxic person or toxic situation, or a person maybe in and of themselves are not toxic, but for you they essentially are. For you, they're not good in your life. They're hurting you. This also, if it's not a person, it could represent something like in your life, some situation or something you're holding on to, but it's punishing you. You're punishing yourself with it. It is punishing you, but the most important thing to remember is that you do have ultimate control and say over everything in your life. Sometimes we don't feel like it. I totally get that. But there's an aspect of whatever it is you're facing, there's some aspect of it that you do have control over. And what's coming up here is saying that there is something here that you have the knowledge and the wisdom. The book is closed, which I feel like it's kind of like you have that knowledge within you and the wisdom within you, but you've kept the book closed on it in order to stay in here. It's hard to stay in a situation like this when you're if you're really like if you're opening up yourself to your inner knowing will tell you this isn't a good situation for me to be in, this person is toxic for me, or even if there's nobody in your life you can identify this with as a person, it can be there's something that needs to be addressed. So that is coming up, and we'll get some more details in a moment on where, what that is. So where you're headed right now, there is a woman in your future. If you're a woman watching this, then I feel like this is you. But if you're a man watching this, this could be that other person, same sex or whichever. And this person, there is communication that's coming with this person, and this is a destined person. This, we look at cards like this that mirror each other, so the woman and the cross. Now the cross can be about things that are burdens, and so this could be somebody who has a lot of troubles, and she's weighed down by some troubles, and she needs to communicate those. But because this is a love reading, I'm feeling more this is that destined person, or you are destined to have a person come in, and there's communication with this person, and that's good because I feel like there's something in this situation that you're currently in where there's not communication, there's secrets, there's things that are being withheld, there's information that's being held back, there's things you don't know. So the advice of what to do, and I feel like this is very much connected with here, rather than, okay, so if you can deal with this and take care of this situation, then this, whatever is in your future that really needs to come in is like, I feel like it's just waiting. It's waiting to come in. This person is waiting to communicate with you, or you're waiting to receive communication that's destined. Destined is like it's part of your destined love, and but in order for that to come in, because it can't right now because you're wrapped up. Like even the whip, the whip can be used to tie somebody up, and the snake, really having it's just extremely toxic situation that's you're being tied up with. And in order to deal with that, the scythe is the suggested action. That means to cut something out, cut something away that has been anchoring you and holding you on. But then from that there's the flowers. So we get the flowers, like the flowers, that's that gift for you, the things in your life that are most lovely and that just like blessings. The flowers represent blessings. So you have blessings that are ready to come into your life, and they'll really, these blessings will ground you and give you that feeling of security that you long for. But you need to do some cutting away. You have to do some cutting away first, and I feel like it's this toxic situation, this toxic person, or a situation that's toxic for you. So even if it's not a person. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some more information. I'll pull some cards for the houses. These other row of cards, what they do is basically give us a hint at what area of life something is in. So the snake is in the house of the clouds. There's a lot of confusion around this person for you. The whip is in the house of the tower. The tower means something that's been going on for a very long time. And the sun, the book is in the house of the sun. Now the book is about secrets and things that aren't being revealed yet. They're in the house of the sun. So it's like these secrets and these things that you're not either acknowledging to yourself or secrets someone else is holding from you. It could be either one or maybe both. But those secrets are blocking the sun for you. And we also have the snake that's just in that house, clouds and confusion. So that does make a lot of sense there. Let's see where we have the scythe is in the house of the woman. So the woman, if that's you, needs to take that action. The anchor is in the house of the letter. So we have a connection here with both of these cards. So what we do when we're looking at houses, if we see this, the anchor is in the house of the letter, then we go see where the letter is, and there's a letter over here, and we'll see what card that is sitting in. We'll get some more information. Wow. And the scythe is in the house of the flowers. This is just affirmation here that when you, and look at, she's even holding the same bouquet of flowers in her hands. And when you, I believe that for most of you, this represents you, or this other person makes this cut. Because this is your reading, I feel like this is you. So some of you, if you're a man, you can just take this right now as this is going to represent the querent in this reading. I don't know. It could be either way. You take it however works best for you. Someone needs to make a cut of something, needs to cut something away. And when they make that cut, they get the flowers in their life, the blessing, the joy, the happiness, the peace. Everything you've ever wanted really comes from, the flowers represent that. Let's see what we get for the woman. The woman has the key in her hands. She's in the house of the key. The woman is the key. So again, the woman is the key because she can cut, and when she cuts, she's getting rid of that situation, that toxic situation. And then information comes in about the secret. So whether this is secret information that you didn't know inside yourself about you, like what inside of yourself were you hiding from yourself, then when that's revealed, then you get the information, you get the letter, you get the communication that you wanted from someone who's destined for you. This woman, again, could be you, it could be someone else, but there's something about a destiny. And that is coming in very swiftly. The house of the rider is something that's coming toward you very quickly and very fast. The scythe is very sudden. So if you make this sudden cut, if you really get this done and you cut this out of your life, then it sets everything in motion for the blessing to come in suddenly, and all of this then comes into play. You have that rider is also can even represent a person, and that rider, that person coming in toward you, because see, they're coming toward the woman, and that's a destined connection. So there's something really good coming for you there. So I feel like in this spread, we would like to see this all come in, and that can represent. Now, if you're already in a relationship, we already have someone in mind, then this is something toxic in your life or theirs is blocking the two of you from moving forward, if you know who that person is. But I feel it's the same thing, even if you don't know the person yet. If the person hasn't come into your life yet, it's because you have something you've been holding on to that has been beating you up, that has been very toxic and poisonous for you, and you've held it deep inside your heart like a closed book. You haven't opened up and just allowed it to leave, allowed it to go. And first of all, actually, as I'm shuffling these cards, I just want to say thank you all the Pisces, because as you all know, I'm a new channel. I've had a channel before, but this is a new channel for me, and it's so funny because the Pisces are the ones that have taken off, and of course YouTube keeps promoting it, and I've a ton of Pisces followers. Love you guys. I'm a Pisces moon, so we have I feel like always these messages resonate for me as well. And I really want to see some more about this toxic situation here. And that just started coming out, but this was what I was going to pull. So we have the Seven of Swords. This is getting out. And see, this guy is leaving. In fact, we see his back. This deck of cards is called the Vice Versa Tarot. And if we were seeing this way, he's coming toward us. But this is like a leaving card. You definitely get that strong feeling of leaving the toxic situation. And when you do, you get this blessing. Like this card here actually makes me think a lot of the flowers. You have this blessing, and because this is a love reading, we're talking about blessings in love. Like this is something that will come in for you in regards to love, because that's what you've been, like you're calling it in. You're calling it in for yourself. So if you're in that relationship already with someone, and maybe even some aspect of what's going on with them is toxic, but you really commit to leaving that behind. And then we get the King of Cups. And he's front facing. We have the front of him, which is really great to see. I feel like it's that, now this could be you. This is, you know what? This is you facing it head on. Pisces, the King of Cups, and you're doing it like, the yang energy, whether you're a male or female, the yang energy is a part of us that gets things done. And then I also have the King of Pentacles, and he's facing forward as well. So I feel like there's just a lot of good raw masculine energy here. You've got the emotional energy, you've got the physical energy that just can get it done, that does this work. The anchor is actually makes me think a lot of both a water sign and an earth sign, because anchor's in a water, but it's anchored into earth. So that's really what I see reflected there. So I have a Five of Wands here, and this is really, again, another card that talks about facing a problem head on. This has been something that has been, like a battle. You've been battling it out for some time, and you're really facing it head on here by making this cut. Not an easy thing to do, I know. So let's see a little bit of information. I want to know more about this snake person. Who is this snake person? Who are they? Is this a person, situation? Depends on different readers. I know it's a general reading. That's one of the things that makes general readings challenging, because I'll say some things that come through and it'll be a message just maybe for even one or two people, but So the World card, it's talking about an end of a cycle. It feels like this person, and actually the whip can be about things that go around and around in cycles, like the idea of whipping in repetitive motion. But there's an end of a cycle here. This with this person. So let's see if we can get some more information about them or that situation. One thing I do have trouble with these cards is making them pop out as much as I would like. This is the Star card, but we're seeing the back of her, and we're seeing rain. And see, this is the front. So with the back of the Star card, and she's really facing her ghosts. So I feel like this is really, for some of you, this may not even be an actual person. It's like the ghost of a person. It might be somebody who you really still haven't completely gotten over in your life, and it is blocking you from, getting love and having love come in, and you need to face that ghost. And interesting that we see the back of the World, come to think of it. So this is the front of the World card. We have the back of the World card as well. So I feel like it is a cycle that was over. Like it's already been over. It's been over for some time. You have known for some time you needed to go. That back of everything is just interesting. Interesting to see that. So these other cards came out. This is that love that's coming in, and that is that's in the future here. You might already have this love. This love may have already come into you, but because you're still like dealing with some ghost of something in your past that is this love situation is not being able to fully bloom, like the flowers hasn't been able to fully bloom the way you would like it to, and because of that, somebody's felt a little left out in the cold. So this love here, you have a real love, you have a true love, and it may be the same person again. It could be this is the person in your life already, or it could be someone new coming in, but they still have felt left out in the cold by you, and it's an energetic cold, like you've energetically left them out in the cold by hanging on to a ghost. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the Three of Pentacles. I had the Five of Pentacles in my hand. I'm getting used to these cards. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles, I have the Five of Pentacles. That's being left out in the cold. And then with the Three of Pentacles is what you have the opportunity to build something new. And so this is really kind of neat too, because we have, both of them have those stained glass windows thing going on. But with this one, he's inside and he actually is like, helping to create and make and build it. And usually it shows three people. In fact, well, here's the other two people. There's two people on this side and there's one person here. So it is about partnership and building something together in partnership. So and this is interesting too. We did get the back of the darker side of this card, where this is the brighter side. This one he has his head in his hands, but here we see his face, and he's just looking at his empty hands. He's just feeling left out in the cold. But at the same time, this Two of Cups is really right here, and it's ready to come in. For those of you who haven't had it come in yet, it will come in soon. Because remember, we have the Rider, and he's, he comes very quickly. He's on a mission, and he does deliver. He delivers, the message, the information, the message, the message that will reveal the secrets that you didn't know that were being blocked here. Either secrets inside of yourself, or maybe information you just didn't know about a situation. So I have the Ace of Cups here, and again, we're seeing the back of the Ace of Cups. And it's very easy to turn this around and be able to have the front of it. But I feel like the reason we're seeing the back of it is still this over here of being stuck in something that was toxic, or the ghost of someone else that is still haunting you, or something along that line. And really what we want to see happen is flipping that around, and that does happen with this, when we take that guided and suggested action and suggested outcome. So I know we all want to see that love coming in, and I'm going to have you stick around, watch the little timing video at the end of this you'll get to pick a card, and you'll end up getting some outliers for your timing, and then maybe get an idea about when this is going to happen for you. All right, now that we're done with that part of the reading, we're going to go into a fun timing activity that will give you a better idea or a sense of when some of the parts of this reading will unfold for you that resonated most with you. So what I'm going to have you do is think about 4 different time frames that feel the most likely happen with this story. For example, if you're like, I don't really see this happening for at least a couple months, then pick that as your first shortest time frame. But if you're like, yeah, I really could see this happening within the next, 3 weeks or so, then pick that as your earliest time frame. Then pick out your latest time frame, and then pick 2 other time frames in between, whether it's several weeks or whether it's several months. Assign a time frame to each, your ace of diamonds, your spades, your clubs, your hearts, and assign a time frame to each one of those. I'm going to go ahead and do the yes or no answer kind of reading. And at the end of the reading, we're going to end up with 2 yeses and 2 nos. And the 2 yeses are going to be your time frame. Let's go ahead and get right into that one now. Okay, so we now have our 2 yeses, and your timing for your question here is contained in these 2 on the ends. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. We have the ace of spades and the ace of diamonds. So whatever your time frame is that you chose, those are your outliers. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have coming up here. Well, we do have quite a lot of love on this side here. It does look like this started out with some kind of love relationship, that you will meet someone whether you have met them yet or not. And it does here say that you just really need to take action. So but not to be impulsive, but there is a new commitment, and it is time, you should take action is what's being recommended there. So you meet someone, you should take action, or they should take action, you both should. And be careful though that you don't get into kind of like a funk about things. Like, I feel like if there's no action that's taken, like the tendency for that, this is a warning here, because otherwise you can kind of get stuck. And because here is also talks about indecision and a lack of faith, and then having difficulty moving forward in order to achieve change. So it just looks like there's love, but it looks like things are having a hard time getting off the ground because either one or both of you, and there's frustrations because of that, and then some confusion or doubt. And then there's a need to forgive and leave a situation that causes regret. So for some of you, it does feel to me like there, like I said, there was initially someone that you have met. Maybe this has already taken place. You've already met this person. And if things are really stuck and aren't, isn't happening, then what's going to be needed in order for you to move forward and get the love in your life that you really want is to let this go. And remember, and it's a lesson learned. And then it does also, again, talk about obstacles that could stand in the way of your success and missed opportunities. So make sure you don't have a missed opportunity come up, because then we end up with the king and the queen of spades, with the ace of spades. Interesting. I think there was a lot of love there because we do have a lot of hearts, but all of the hearts that we do have are in the negative position, like in the reversed position, and have their more negative attributes there. So not that message is for everyone, but that was there for some people who needed to hear it. Now here's another message about how to move things forward toward your love relationship that I'm assuming is your desire, since you are watching this video. All right, so we begin out with some, it does talk about not making any big changes because there's financial difficulties. So although it does say that there's success in a new enterprise, so I feel like some of you actually may have started a new job, or a new career, or you're an entrepreneur, or there's just something that you have started at the beginning of something, but it's causing some financial strain at first. And then you end up with a joyful outcome after that difficult phase. So things do turn around pretty quickly for you there. And so just really, that there's a lot to be grateful for in that regard. And but it does here talk about feelings of depression and hurt and anger have caused someone to be discouraged. Look past your anxieties because success will be eventual. Now, whether that's kind of in this same the beginning here, or if it's kind of like, sometimes I'll read these and I feel like it's not necessarily that this is the order that it happens in, but this is all pieces of advice that need to come forward for some reason. You do end up having new friends and associates, and I do feel like that if you haven't met someone yet, that's possible that it could even come through the workplace. Be careful that you respond quickly to repair your actions if you realize that you have hurt someone, because it could come back to, you know, kind of like a karma situation where it comes back around. Not because, I mean, you're a better person, of course, than doing it just for yourself, but you do need to watch out for things like that, because that energy of putting out something negative, even if it was unintentional, can come back and then make things difficult for you. So just make sure to put that into place. But you do have a feeling of happiness, and fewer problems are coming in regards to money. And then we do also have a matched pair again with the King and the Queen of Clubs. So that's looking good. Anyway, that's a little bit of a reading for your timing on the end of this spread.